We are continuing today, November 6th, the 12th of Cheshvan, and we are going to complete the 10th chapter of Mesillas Yesharim. So remember again, we started Baruch Hashem on Friday with the midah of nikios, of cleanliness. V'hinei al midah zu haya David sameach ba'atzmo v'omer erchatz b'nikayon kapai v'asov es mizbechacho Hashem. So Ramchal writes, David HaMelech himself rejoiced in this particular midah. He said literally again, I will wash in the cleanliness of my hands. The idea that Ramchal is picking up over here, whatever specifically David HaMelech means, that Ramchal is pointing out that David HaMelech is making reference to the midah of nikios. He goes on, he says, Ki be'emes rak mishi inake legamre mikol nidnud chet v'avon hu haroi le'raos es pnei melech Hashem. So remember again, the Ramchal introduced us to this idea that this concept of nikios is really this ability to dig deep and almost root out what are the core issues inside of me. What are the core things that may be broken inside of me that are causing me to go ahead and first of all make excuses for derelict or negative behavior. Only once you get in there, get into the kishkas you're in the shama, get into the kishkas of yourself and be able to discover that which is broken and clean it out, only then does one have the ability to have true connection to Hashem. Kizulas zeh Elo elo lavosh v'li kalim milafanav kimamar Ezra Sofar Elokai boshti v'nechlamti laharom Elokai panai elecha. Because without nikios, it's hard to come in front of Hashem. There's a sense almost like of embarrassment, of busha, that here I know that I'm in a state of disrepair and I haven't cleaned out. It's almost like, you're having company over and the house is messy and you forgot to clean up the house. There's a sense of embarrassment when the house is in a state of disrepair. He says Ramchal, this is a very difficult thing to accomplish, this midah of nikios. So Ramchal says, remember, things averos that are obvious and clear, so that's not as difficult to deal with because again, it's obvious and clear. I know what I have to do. What's difficult about the midah of nikios is that before I do it, the problem is because there are certain things internally which are corrupted and certain things which are broken, it doesn't allow me the clarity of vision to even see what's true and what's not. Averos sha'adam dash ba'akebav, sovavos oso b'shas adin. A profound Gemara Meseches Avodah Zarah. The averos that a person tramples on with his heels, those are the ones that encircle him during the time of divine judgment after 120. In other words, this idea, the dash, so the Ramchal is understanding what does it mean averos that you trample with your heels. Things you may not even be aware of, or I'm aware of, but I make excuses for it. It's those very things with which I am confronted with after 120. Rubam begezel miutam ba'arayas v'kulan ba'avak lashon hara ki mipnei rov dakuso kol bnei adam nichshalam bo b'ma she'ein makirim oso. This is incredible. The Gemara quotes the Gemara says the Gemara says the majority of people are in violation of some form of theft. Some people, a minority, are in violation of immorality, but everyone is in violation of avak lashon hara. Avak lashon hara means we'll call it not explicit lashon hara, not explicit slander, but some derivative form of slander. And the reason why is it that most people ultimately are in violation of this? Because it's such a nuance, and unless, of course, I am holding in the right place, I don't necessarily pick up on the nuanced prohibitions which I am trampling. So this avak lashon hara, everyone knows I can't go out there and actively speak negatively about someone. But avak lashon hara means you can't even say certain things which are going to lead to a negative conversation. But you can only be in tune with that if at the end of the day I've cleaned out, or at least I'm trying to address the things that are broken inside of me. Without the midah of nikios, essentially what the Ramchal is saying is, you miss the nuances. The clear and obvious averos, those I know I have to deal with, but the nuances is what I miss. Shedavid haya nisra menaka atzmo nikayin gam mikol eila. V'alkin haya holich limilchama bitachon chazak v'haya shoel erdov oivai v'asigim v'lo ashuv ad kalosam. David HaMelech was proficient in this particular midah of nikios. And because of that, when he went out to battle with a profound sense of confidence. And this was in contradistinction to other kings who may have possessed personal piety, but did not really master the midah of Nikios. Therefore, when they went out to war, they did not have this same sense of confidence. Yigmalini Hashem kitzidki kibar yadi yashiv li va'om amra od vayashav Hashem li kitzidki kibar yadi leneged einai v'hu abar nikosha zakarnu va'az chazar va'amar ki b'cha arutz gidud ubelokai adalik shor erdof oyevei ma'asigim v'atzma amra od miyala b'ha. So again, the Ramchal is just bringing different examples of psukim from David HaMelech, where David HaMelech extols this midah, this virtue, this necessity of Nikios. I'll just mention the last one. V'hu atzmo amar od miya'ala b'har Hashem u'miyakum mimkom kadsho. Who is the person who is capable of ascending the mountain of Hashem? And who is the person ultimately who could stand in his holy place? Niki kapayim uvar levav. Literally one who is clean of hands and strong of heart. This idea of Nikios. Now again, that David HaMelech might mean a lot of different things in this context. The point that the Ramchal is taking from here is, it's a strong statement. Who is the one who could stand on Hashem's mountain? Who could stand in a holy place? One who possesses the midah of Nikios. Va'amnam, vada shamidah hazos kasha, kiteva adam chalash v'libo nifta al mikala, umatuli atzmu hadvarim sheyuchalim sobem kedei hata. The Ramchal says, this is hard work. By the way, I just want to point out, there's a very strong statement that the Ramchal is saying. This is hard work. He's acknowledging this. This is not an easy one. Why? Because the nature of man is to be weak. And ultimately, again, man's heart could be easily seduced and steered in different directions. And a person ultimately allows himself to be misled, which is really an incredible idea. And a person allows himself to do certain things which I know are going to put me on the wrong path. So essentially what the Ramchal says, like so many times in life, I just pull the rug out from under myself. More often than not, when we make mistakes in life, it's not because of anything that anyone else did, but it's often because I'm not vigilant enough. Again, going back, I don't have zihiros, I don't have zrizos. So because of that, my heart is easily seduced. I allow myself to do things that I know are going to not put me on the right path. Therefore, the Ramchal says, one who is able to acquire the midah of Nikios has reached a very high level. Because as we're going to see, to acquire this midah of Nikios, one has to wage a very significant battle. And again, a person who reaches the midah of Nikios means that he's been successful in that battle. So now, the Ramchal lays the groundwork. This is the conclusion of Parak Yud, chapter 10, and now in chapter 11, we'll begin to explain the details of the midah of Nikios. Mazel tov at the completion of Parak Yud, and again, the Ramchal telling us that we have a major war ahead of us, but if we are successful, the spoils of that battle will pay dividends in Meretz Hashem until 120. We'll stop here for today. Wishing everyone a wonderful day.